Hello guys, it's Sympathy with a review of Once Upon a Time, Season 4, Episode 19, titled Sympathy for Deville. I don't know why I couldn't get it out. Anyway. So the opening sequence shows Dalmatian puppies running through the forest. So, in the character's past, we have, in 1920s-esque London, a young Cruella de Vil is being mistreated by her mother, Madeline, as she instructs her Dalmatians to chase her daughter, and locked in the attic in the same setting that resembles the novel Flowers in the Attic. Fast forward to several years later, and that a reporter who is revealed to be the author, but is using an alias by the name of Isaac, is paying a visit to the home, pretending to seek out a story after having seen Cruella from the attic, only to have Madeline warning him to stay away. Unfortunately, Isaac returns and helps Cruella escape from the attic. He then takes Cruella out for a date that includes dinner and dancing. Cruella reveals to Isaac that the reason she was kept in the attic was that she had witnessed her mother kill her father and her succeeding husbands. Isaac then reveals to Cruella that he was more than just a reporter and has the ability to use his pen and ink to create magical stories. Isaac proposes that they run away together and uses his quill and ink to give Cruella her persuasion powers to control animals. However, for Isaac, his future with Cruella would later take a unique twist that will put his future in danger. When Madeline pays a visit to see him, she tells him that Cruella had lied to him about what actually happened to her husbands. Cruella was the one who had killed them, not Madeline, and was trying to prevent her from killing others. When Madeline returns home, Cruella was ready for her and eventually kills her mother by controlling her Dalmatians and commands them to attack her. Afterward, Isaac realized his quill was missing, so he pays a visit to see Cruella and discovers that she used him as a means to an end. Cruella used the skin from her mother's dogs as fur for her signature coat. The confrontation led the two to fight over the ink, which is then spilled on Cruella, transforming her into the infamous black and white infused hair character. As Cruella is about to kill him, Isaac uses his power as an author to make it so that Cruella can never kill anyone ever again by writing it down on a piece of paper. As he leaves, Cruella tells him he is not done. So we get Cruella's backstory. So Cruella was compared to every other evil villain we have met so far on Once Upon a Time. Cruella is the only one who is literally, truly born evil. Like, she was just born out the gate, born evil, which is good. You know, it kind of takes away from the whole notion that Once Upon a Time had so far of, villains are not born, they're made, but they need to break that. Villains are not born, they're made, with the exception of Cruella de Vil. Like, that should need to be the new tagline. With the exception of Cruella de Vil. And it was nice to see why she hated Dalmatian so much. Because apparently it was because she, those were the dogs that was used to keep her ass in line, pretty much, basically. That's why she hates them so much. So we have her past, we have her past story, and so now we're about to get into her in modern day storybook. As Cruella races off into the forest, she is stopped in her tracks by Maleficent, who now knows that she was the one who knew where Lily went after they were sucked into the portal back in the Enchanted Forest. As Maleficent transforms into a dragon, Cruella uses her breath to exhale green smoke and puts her frenemy to sleep. Then comes up with a plan to go after the author. Meanwhile, Emma is still arguing with Mary Margaret and David when Regina informs them about Zelena, prompting her to see Belle, who in turn interrupts Gold's plan to make the author write stories, which in turn, oh my god, what is in there? Which in turn prompts Gold to come to the well to see her, and he reveals that his heart is darkening and he will die, only to discover that Belle is being controlled by Regina, who is using Belle's heart to make sure that Gold does not contact Zelena as Regina schemes to go to New York to confront her half-sister. Cruella then pays a visit to Isaac to make up for lost time and to offer him a deal, as Gold does not know that they knew each other as Isaac catches on to her deception. And since Isaac knows that Cruella has no power to kill anyone, Cruella, who tells Isaac that there are other ways to skin an author, finds a way to make it happen by kidnapping Henry by using a control pongo, which she uses to force Emma and Regina to do her bidding by making the mothers kill Isaac or else. Cruella will kill Henry. Unfortunately, as Gore returns to the cabin, he tells Isaac that he knew about his past with Cruella and informs Isaac about the kidnapping, which Gore knows will lead Emma to Emma's darkness. Isaac then hands Gold a note he kept from the club. Oh, God. One reason why I hate summer and spring, my eyes get all watery. It's not even sunny outside. Ugh. At the apartment, Emma, Regina, Hook, Mary, Margaret, and David discuss their plan of action, but even this has Emma concerned. Regina, Emma, and Hook search the woods just in time for Henry to escape from Cruella, who was busy playing Angry Birds. But as the three split up and only Regina and Hook are tricked, it's Emma who finds Henry. But Cruella is threatening to throw Henry off the cliff. She then tempts Emma's patience to see if she will do it, reminding her that heroes never kill. At the same time, Mary, Margaret, and David confront Isaac, who reveals that a chapter in Emma's future will involve Cruella, and they race to stop her upon reading the note that reveals Cruella is incapable of killing anyone. Unfortunately, they arrive just in time to see Emma use her powers and kill Cruella by knocking her off the cliff. As a terrified Henry cries in his mother's arms, Emma's face has changed to a sinister look, implying that her heart is going dark. The cultural references in this episode is a rendition of the 101 Dalmatians story with Cruella de Vil and Pongo. The song that Cruella hears on the radio is a jazz instrumental of Cruella de Vil from the 1961 Disney animated movie 101 Dalmatians. Madeline's car is similar in design and color to Cruella's car in the 1961 Disney animated film 101 Dalmatians. So overall, with this episode, we get Cruella's backstory and realize that she was always fucking evil. Hence her name, Cruella de Vil, the cruel fucking devil. And we realize that Cruella's happy ending involves her killing somebody. So obviously, we're not gonna let that happen. Like, you can't just go kill somebody. And then we have Emma actually killing a person. Now I've been looking at. Every time after I usually watch a show, I usually go to the Facebook page of the show and read, other people's comments. And a lot of people like, oh, it was just, it was something about Emma going dark from this incident, and people like, she can't go dark from after one death. I'm like, and somebody used a perfect analogy from the Harry Potter films. Like, the whole point of Voldemort, when you get to the Half-Blood Prince and you learn about Horcruxes, in order to create a Horcrux, splitting your soul, it commits an act of killing someone. And killing someone, whether it's in self-defense or is intentional, it does, it's gonna weigh on you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not easy to kill. I mean, to some people who are mentally disabled, it may be easy for them to kill. But even with Emma, with her just automatically going to kill, to the point of just pushing Cruella to the cliff, Emma is usually the one who is more, let's try to talk them down first. You know what I'm saying? She usually is the one who's going, let me talk to them, let me talk them down. Cause that's sort of has been Emma's character throughout the whole thing. Instead of, Regina is the one Regina and Rumpelstiltskin would be the ones I would expect to be like, I would just throw a fireball at them or just rip their freaking heart out. That's what I expect from, Regina, the evil queen, and Rumpelstiltskin, Miss Gold. Not Emma. Emma's the one, let's talk this out. Let me calm you down, because, there's usually, if you can calm somebody down without resort to violence, then that's good. Emma, her first thing was, I'm push this rod off the freaking cliff. And I know some people are like, well, her son was in danger. I'm like, you still can't talk people down because your son's in danger? I'm like, you can still talk to that person. And then it's not like, we know as the audience that Cruella wasn't going to do any damn things to Henry, because she can't. By magic, she cannot kill no one. So that's what I thought was very interesting in terms of Emma making that decision and trying to get rid of Cruella de Vil. So comment, rate, subscribe. On this episode of Once Upon a Time, and I will finish posting up the rest of Once Upon a Time because season 4 is done, and I can't wait for season 5 to start. Like, now I'm like, I gotta wait for June, July, August, September. I think they usually start in September, or I think it's usually late September, early October when Once Upon a Time usually comes back on air. Anyway, so come and subscribe to some of the guys.